Hello, everybody. We are in our hotel after a very long day.
Long day, just getting back around 8:30 to the hotel. So we started this morning out with a tour of
Yeah, where did we go?
Doge's Palace.
Yes.
And
let us tell you about that experience. It's like being in Times Square.
So if you don't like Times Square, stay away. I think we said it's kind of like what we say about New York City, especially Times Square. You have to at least do it once, and it might not be your cup of tea, but you gotta see it.
Mm-hmm.
And so we'll say the same thing about St. Mark's Plaza.
Right.
Or Piazza di San Marco.
Yes, that's what it is. Because it's just people
Oh
everywhere.
my
It's just mad
gosh.
people.
You're angry. You're angry trying to, it's like, oh God, everybody, it's every man for himself and the Pope for us all. It's just, yeah, it's a madhouse. So we were there trying to, because we had a guided tour. So we had to meet the tour group. Like, good luck with that in this big old crowd.
Right, because I felt like a moment on Amazing Race when you're trying to find something that's, just hidden amongst other things, and it's really, really crowded.
You have to find the man. That sounds like an Amazing Race task too. Find the guy who has this map, and they'll get your next clue.
Yes. It's underneath the tower clock.
You have to identify
where the
man.
archers are. Now, mind you, there's hundreds of people, hundreds of them,
all gathered in little tour groups. You have no idea which one is the English. So you're walking up to people hoping that you hear English.
Right. We kept walking up to people. Is this the English speakers one? Is this? And then we finally found even though she wasn't our woman, we found a woman to see if our tickets were for her. And she said, that's not for her. It's for the woman over there. Now, mind you, the woman over there.
Right.
You turn, it's like,
Heck, at the moment I was standing over there, she could be talking about me.
Right. There was a lot of people over there. I'm one of those people, I get all freaked out about time. And we were supposed to be there before the time. And now it's like after 10:45 when we were supposed to be there. And we're still trying to find these people.
So that's our first thing. If you get your tour stuff, it'll tell you to arrive 10 or 15 minutes before.
Mm-mm.
If it is in St. Mark's Plaza in Venice, you need to get there even earlier than that.
Yes.
We got there about 10 minutes or so, which should have been enough time if it were marked, but it wasn't. So give yourself at least like 20, 30 minutes to be able to find what you need.
Right. Because the problem was the tour guide people weren't holding up a sign.
Right.
Hands over here. They weren't holding up anything. So it was hard to identify them amongst hundreds of people. I was trying to figure out how all the other people who were already there and in their groups with their little thing dangling on so they could hear. I'm like, how did they find their tour people? I don't even know how they found them. But
I guess the way that we found them, by accident.
Yeah, by accident. And then also, you have to be aggressive. You can't wait your turn. You can't, because what happens
nobody else is waiting their turn. It's pure chaos.
That's why you need extra time.
Yeah, you need extra time. So give yourself extra time for anything involving St. Mark's. We had to be there at 10 something in the morning. It was already packed by then.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. Early as possible. The earliest we got that tour at 10:45 because that was the earliest that they did the English speaking tour. So early as possible, because even by the time we were done with the tour, the lines were outrageous. Book stuff ahead of time too. That's something we did a lot of that. Came into the city with tickets for things already, because you can buy stuff while you're there, but you're gonna be waiting. So you don't want to spend all your time sitting around waiting in lines. Right. So minimize how much line time you have. So we had skip the line tickets with a guided tour. So you want, especially if you I would say skip the lines for the biggest attractions, and Doge's Palace was one of these big attractions. The St. Mark's Basilica is also another one where you want to skip the line tickets. Some of the places you can buy skip the line tickets, but you don't need it because they're like not super crowded. But anything involving St. Mark's Plaza, Piazza di San Marco, get the skip the line tickets, because there are two lines. There was the regular people line, and then there was the skip the line.
Okay, so first, for CJ, is your question?
Were the people at least cute?
That's what I was laughing at. But see, I had no reaction to any people because I want
to say something.
What?
I think more Italian men need to wear better either underwear or more supportive underwear. That was my lesson from today.
Apparently, Kelly noticed a lot of dudes not wearing underwear. I did not notice.
I'm lower.
So anyway, I didn't notice.
I am unfortunately closer to crotch areas. And so I saw a little bit too much of people I don't know.
Right. Yeah, I didn't.
So I need them to introduce briefs or something here in Italy, because this is just too much hot dog for me.
Thankfully, I didn't see that. There's people from all over the world. So as far as cuteness, I don't know. They were people to me. A lot of times I would just focus on where we were trying to go. Obviously, there was a time when we didn't have cell phones. So for people to get around, they had to use a map. But I can only imagine how much you didn't get to if you used the map. Because the phone and the fact that we can have the data, granted we have to pay each day for the data. The thing is, having your device, it's a godsend here, because
yes, absolutely get it.
There are no straight streets. I mean, you're in between. You're at narrow streets this way.
And what looks like an alley in the United States is actually a street here.
Yes. So thank goodness for the data plan that we're paying for.
It is worth it.
And Google Maps.
If you're wondering, it's worth it. Get it.
It's definitely worth it, because we covered a lot of territory. Today we walked almost
9-point-something miles, probably
almost 10 miles today. We covered a lot of territory, and the phone helped a lot to get us from all the places that we went to get to the various places.
That's another thing too. Venice involves a lot of walking, so it's going to be an issue for anybody with like mobility issues. I think we got in like 20,000 steps. I think your thing said like 20,000 steps today. I probably got in more. That was Pam. I probably got in more because my legs are shorter. So, but yeah, getting in the steps, Venice is not at all for a place for people with mobility issues. I mean, it's got a lot of bridges that you have to cross.
And there's some areas that are wheelchair accessible, but not enough. So
I would think it would be really inconvenient. You can probably get around, but it'd be really inconvenient, like trying to find a spot where you can cross the river or whatever. To reroute around the areas that you couldn't get across.
Yeah, because you have to go over a lot of bridges to get to certain areas.
I think we crossed like 5 just getting to dinner.
Yes.
Food's been good.
You mean it's Italian food?
It's Italian food. It's clean in the sense that it's not full of stuff. It's like really basic. I've had gnocchi now for 2 nights. I'll probably move away from that for tomorrow.
I have not had gnocchi for 2 nights. Tonight I had cod and tomato sauce on top of polenta. So we've had gelato 2 days in a row. This morning, we went to the water taxi. They tried to charge us $60 to go a mile.
60 euro, which was like 70 bucks.
60 euro. I keep saying dollars. 60 euro to go
like 70 bucks. 70 bucks to go a mile.
No.
Price gouging. Worse than Times Square.
Y'all might get over on someone else, but not these 2 sisters. We will walk
that
before we pay $60. Yeah. So no, we didn't pay $60. We kept walking $60. And we found the water taxi, and it
was 1 mile.
And we have a ticket. We have a 48-hour ticket for the water bus, which we paid $40 a piece.
No, $20 a piece.
$20 a piece for 48 hours. And you're going to try to make us pay 60 euros.
And even straight up, the water bus is only $6.50.
Yeah. What? I'm like, what?
$6.50. $60.
So
of 1 mile.
So that was I said they were either 1, racist, 2, trying to scam us, or 3, they were both. But it didn't matter what they were. We weren't paying no damn 60 euros.
I think they were just trying to get over on tourists who they thought didn't know any better.
That was the third. There was a 4th. Get over on tourists. Not these 2. And today we also had pizza. It was okay.
Apparently you shouldn't get pizza in Venice. Now I know why.
Our pizza at home is better.
Yeah.
Than what we had today anyway. I mean, it was okay.
It was okay.
It was a pizza with 4 different cheeses on it. I don't like Gonzola, I realized.
Gorgonzola?
Yeah, it was disgusting.
It's kind of like blue cheese.
I also don't like blue cheese, and it tastes about the same. So I had to pick that out.
Yeah.
But the pizza was just,
yeah. Whatever. Apparently in Venice, they outlawed wood burning wood, coal, whatever you can call it, pizza ovens. And so the only people who have them are those who got grandfathered in for this rule. So a lot of the pizza places are like baking their crust or something like that. They're not putting it in, I guess, in true Italian form. So Venice doesn't have the best reputation when it comes to pizza, I read. So, and not really known for pasta either. Lots of seafood. So, but yeah, I like the portion size and nothing. Now, most Americans will be dissatisfied.
The portion sizes are reasonable.
Yes,
they don't serve you.
I got that much gnocchi last night.
Right. They don't serve you for one person enough for a family. They serve you enough for one person, and and you don't leave stuffed.
Yes.
You actually have room for dessert. Exactly. Yes. Without feeling like if I eat this dessert, I'm going to pop. I mean, it's reasonable. It's good. I mean, and also eating out here, I have to get used to certain things. Like, one, they don't keep coming to your table to see how you're doing.
They drop your food and leave you alone.
Yes. The other one is when you're ready for something, you need to get their attention. So those, I mean, those are nice things. I'm not complaining. These are just things that I'm getting used to.
We also are not staying in Venice proper. We're staying in Mestre. I think that's how you say it. And it's just outside of Venice. It takes maybe the bus ride, maybe 10 minutes.
Yeah, with the bus ride. Yeah, because we're the second stop.
But, it's kind of nice also not to be in the mix of all the craziness, especially the hotels are a lot of in that crazy area too. So.
Right. And also for those people who are staying in Venice, people are walking around with all this stuff with their luggage, and that's
something else to think about.
Like we saw today too, because in Venice also, to get to everything you need a boat. DHL, the delivery, boat. Bringing in the food, water, everything, boat. We saw a boat full of luggage to deliver the luggage to the hotel where the people were staying. And those were the people who I guess were too far out and were able to get the boat to bring their stuff. Other ones, they are pulling that luggage everywhere.
But that's something to think about, because Venice doesn't have like a driving life at all. So if you're staying at a Venice hotel, unless you're right on the water, you're going to be taking your luggage through the streets.
Yes.
You won't be taking a taxi and pulling up in front of your hotel.
No.
Yeah. That's just not going to happen.
You're going to take some body of water, or you're going to be doing some walking.
Or you're going to take a body of, or both, right? You take the body of water, then still be dragging your luggage to get to the hotel. Venice is larger than advertised. That's another thing. Venice is pretty large. If you look at Venice and all the surrounding islands that are part of kind of Venezia, and even if it's not Venice proper, like Lido, it's pretty big here. So, I don't think there's a ton to do, but there's definitely a spirit here that's kind of cool to be out in.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Thanks for watching.